Today I fucked up by asking my neighbor to come watch me masturbate. I regularly run into my next door neighbor who's a single mom. We talk random stuff whenever we meet. She talks very openly about literally anything, and that kind of forced me to do the same. I started being honest with her recently. Anyways, to the fuck up, this took place last weekend. I was coming back home walking from my buddy's place who lives on the next lane. I was absolutely wasted, but was still in my senses. My neighbor who I haven't met in almost a week calls me, but I wanted to get home and go to bed, but also didn't want to be an ass, so I go to her. She asks if I'm okay, I guess the smell gave it away, and I was like yeah. She then invites me inside her house, and we sit. We talk some random bullshit like we always do. I then tell her that I want to go home, masturbate and sleep. I honestly don't know what got into me that night, but my mouth wasn't in my control. I say that, and immediately after that I say hey should come sometime. I guess she assumed I was inviting her to come watch me do my thing, which was definitely not my intention. I understood I fucked up very badly, so I abruptly get up and leave. Too long didn't read, my drunken adventures controls my mouth and invites neighbors to watch me jerk off. Leave the door cracked. What did she say? My guy asking the real questions. The real fuck up would be letting the situation go and not going to explain yourself to her. Why the fuck would you just walk away from a chess game, after just finishing your move? He told her he wanted to polish his bishop then go to bed. You should go apologize, say you were drunk and meant she should come over for a chat and a cup of tea, not what your drunk mouth said. She can't look inside your head, so best clear up the misunderstanding. Edit, maybe let her know you enjoy talking to her, so you wanted to invite her over instead of always being at hers, but it came out wrong. Edit 2, appreciate the awards, hope you have a great weekend and stay safe out there. Today I fucked up by not shutting my bedroom door all the way. NSFW. Not today, and on mobile. Yada yada. It was a weekend, and my hubby were starting to get in the mood, kissing and feeling, and all that jazz. So we decide to go to the bedroom. He runs upstairs and uses the master bathroom, connected to our bedroom, and I use the downstairs bathroom, to pee before sexy fun time. I'm on my way up the stairs, all naked to surprise him, and enter the bedroom, closed the door and lay down on the bed, legs spread. I was trying to turn him on, and expected some kissing, then something a little more than kissing. Well, he came out of the bathroom, and decided I needed some kissing, just not on my mouth lips. So he's going at it, and I'm in heaven, when I hear the door creak open. My 8-week-old kitten decided she wanted to join the fun. I fully expected my hubby to stop, and take her out of the bedroom, and shut the door a bit better, but he just ignored her. So she decided to lick my nipple. It's a strange feeling, folks. Anywho, after that, and some batting at my boobs, I just bust up laughing. My poor hubby thought he was doing something wrong, but then he looked up to see a little kitten needing my bare tit, and meowing at my face. He hadn't even noticed she came in. We did end up tossing her out of the room, and continuing with our delightful moment, but it did put a bit of a pause in our evening. Did you see my joke? It was a funny, get it? Pause. Anyways, not a massive foo, but I'd thought I'd share nonetheless. Hope I put a smile on your face. Too long didn't read, went to have sex with the hubby, and my 8-week-old kitten decided to join. Edit, you guys. I didn't expect this to blow up. Thank you all so much. And I can finally say, rip my inbox. Edit 2, to all those saying this is fake, you're right, everything on the internet is fake, even you. Edit 3, my first silver. Thank you. Today I fucked up by sexy sex. NSFW. Yeah, these posts are so annoying. It has all the elements of a shitty today I fucked up sex story, description of the sex, no actual foo, animal/child interrupting, and hubby. Seriously, the only reason these posts are so successful are because of all the horny morons that get off to this. So you were really feline it. Come on, still better than the pause joke. Much better. That's just my sense of humor with my hubby. Make a ridiculously obvious joke, and point it out until he acknowledges it. Better than having your cat sneak up behind you during doggy style and try to sniff out the conjunction point. I don't think any of us will completely recover. Ah yes, the classic "today I fucked up by sexing the sexy sex" post. Today I fucked up by meeting a famous athlete on his home turf and completely belittling his accomplishments. So, this happened a couple years ago. My boyfriend, now husband, and I were in Death Valley, California for the marathon they have there. He wanted to run a cool marathon, and I was there to support him. I'd run a few 5Ks, but the shortest race they had was a 10K and I was not in shape for that. I spent most of the race sitting in the car working, but my computer died, so I decided to wait by the finish line until my husband finished. While there, I struck up a conversation with a lovely woman who was there with her husband and her friend Marshall, who were both running the marathon. She mentioned that Marshall had run another race called Badwater in the area as well, which I knew nothing about. My husband got back first, so I walked with him to the closest picnic table and sat down after running to the car to get him some water. Then my new friend and her people sat down with us and started chatting. Throughout the conversation I figured out who was who based off what she had told me. We talked for quite a while, and I said to the friend, "Oh, you must be Marshall." He said he was, and I mentioned that I'd heard he'd done Badwater. He said that, in fact, he held the record for that race. Unfazed, I shared how I had run a 5K or 2 in my day, as my husband, tired from the race and in a bit of a daze, remained unaware of what was going on. I later found out that Badwater is a 146-mile ultramarathon that goes from the lowest point in the continental US, Badwater Basin, to the top of Mount Whitney, the highest point in the continental US. As it turns out, my new friend's buddy Marshall was Marshall Ulrich, a famous ultramarathoner who is extremely accomplished and well known specifically in the Death Valley racing community. So, in the place he is most well known, the single place in which he is most likely to be recognized, some random girl who knew his name, he didn't know that was because of his friend, and who knew about Badwater, I didn't, again, friend, was entirely unimpressed with his accomplishments and felt that her record of completing but never winning 5Ks was comparable. He handled it like a champ, but my husband and I haven't stopped laughing since. As a bonus, turns out the woman I was chatting with is also a boss. She ran the Leadville 100, and here I am with my 5Ks. Too long didn't read, met famous ultramarathoner Marshall Ulrich on his home turf, openly compared his experience setting world records to my experience running leisurely in 5Ks. Edit, Marshall Ulrich has seen and replied to this post. Up also said that her husband got back first. Does that mean that he beat the badass Marshall and her new friend's husband? Because that is pretty badass. Lol, he did, but I'm pretty sure that while it was a race for my husband, it was more of a leisurely stroll for Marshall. According to my husband, Marshall and his friend were chatting the whole time. My sister-in-law sent me this thread. I do remember sitting around a picnic table at the end of the DV marathon, and I am always amazed that people know me, or anything about me. My friend Chris Frost and Wendy were with me, and I remember running my first 5K and it was extraordinary to finish. I feel grateful to be able to still be running and am always happy to encourage one and all. FYI, my 29-year-old record of running the full 146 miles from BW to the top of Whitney, 33 hours and change, was just broken by about 20 minutes by a friend of mine, Harvey Lewis, super guy. If you want another peek into my world and my good friend Mark Macy's world, look for Amazon Prime's The World's Toughest Race. It is a 10-part series that you may all enjoy. Look for Team Stray Dogs and Team Endure. Having said all this, I have always learned more from my failures than my successes and cherish your friends and family. Thanks all, Marsh. Wow, it's great to hear from you. I appreciate how gracious you were in the moment, and the encouragement for me and my 5Ks. I'm not sure if you remember us, but this was back in 2017. My husband was the one running barefoot and holding a pair of scissors the whole time. Either way, my husband read your book and asked me if you'd be willing to let us know next time you run the Death Valley Marathon because he'd love to get it signed. He's an endurance runner himself. He's done rim to rim in the Grand Canyon a couple times and was signed up for Leadville this year before all the virus stuff happened. You are definitely a role model of his. You know, honestly, the guy just sounds humble. He shared his accomplishment and let you talk about yours without scoffing or insisting he was better. He just listened. I doubt he thought you were belittling him. Probably just knew you didn't know who he was and didn't expect you to. But I would have felt the same as you, so I get it. Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. That's amazing. Thank you for the laugh. I'm hoping that you must be Marshall rather than oh my god are you Marshall does imply that you knew his name though his friend. Hopefully anyway.